Arsenal just absolutely bodied Crystal Palace, yeah, at Selhurst Park, yeah. 5-1 to the Arsenal. And hey, I just want to say it's kind of interesting that as soon as Partey goes back to starting in the six, we score another 5 goals. Coinkydink? I think not. But hey, let's get into it, yeah. So, just as an overall summary, and I was kind of saying this on my watch along, is that I think this is one of the games where, from an offensive perspective and all the players in offensive positions, I feel like everyone was pretty solid. I would say no one really played less than a 7 out of 10, in my personal opinion. But then, and I don't even want to say defensively, because I really think that it was only really Gabriel and Saliba that kind of had shaky games. Don't get me wrong, Raya made a few mistakes real early on. Like, when he passed that ball to, I believe it was Partey under mad pressure, and then, you know, Crystal Palace was pressing really high, and it nearly ended up going into the back of the net when Partey got challenged. And obviously Raya put up his hands, and then obviously after that, Raya progressively got more comfortable in the game, progressively got more better, and on many occasions made a lot of really good saves. And I mean, just like because of how we played defensively, and I guess how kind of open the midfield was, especially in the I'd say the first half of that game, we really could have been in a losing position. Like there was that chance where Mateta broke through. He should have scored that. He definitely should have scored that, but he didn't. So maybe a bit of luck on our side in regards to that, but we definitely capitalized off of that luck, right? I think Timber had a really good game. Miles Lewis Skelly, oh my god, this kid, he's years ahead of his age, man. He's so composed. And in that game, he was actually one of the players that I thought looked really up for it physically. Like he didn't really lose any of his duels. He was fighting for the ball. But then on the flip side, he also showed a lot of technical prowess, and obviously because he's got a good eye for a pass from deep, it kind of takes a lot of the pressure and onus off of Erdegaard to progress the ball up the pitch. So I think the fact that he's naturally a CM that's currently plying his trade at left back is helping out Arsenal when it comes to building up from the back and building up, into more offensive positions on the pitch. Now, kind of the talk of the town, when the lineup came up was Havertz in the midfield. Now, a lot of people lost their mind. I didn't mind it. Like, don't get me wrong. There's things that kind of make it difficult for someone playing in the six when Havertz is in the midfield, and that's because he's a drifter. He moves a lot. Sorry, he moves about a lot on the pitch. He's usually occupying so many different positions on the pitch away from the six that sometimes it can kind of feel like the six is on an island. He does cover a lot of ground, but he's not the fastest of players. So on transition, and when for example when Crystal Palace are playing through the middle of our park, there's usually occasions when he's so far. He was so far away from Partey that it kind of made it a bit more difficult for Partey. I would say that's my one analysis of Havertz that kind of didn't go too great in this game. But however, I feel like he had a good game. I'd say a solid 7 out of 10. He played his part. He was combining well in the midfield. He was linking up. He was creating space for, especially for Jesus. With his movement. He was involved more than what he usually is. He is a low touch player. He is someone that's more about dragging other players out of position to give others kind of the space to do what they need to do. And that's just the role that he plays. He's a workhorse. He's kind of in a sense, a sacrificial pawn for the greater good. But it was I'm not gonna glaze it. I'm not glazing it, but I just think how people responded to him being in the lineup. You know, everyone was kind of doom and gloom. We're gonna lose the game because Havertz is there. He had a good game, you know, and even topped it off with a goal. And his goal shows that one of his good qualities. He's a really intelligent player, and you know, them late runs into the box. He capitalized off the fact that Jesus hit the post. Probably should have had his hat trick, and he's there to put it in the back of the net. So look, I'm not gonna act like you know he had a 10-10 because he didn't. Far from it, but he had a good game. Now, now look, yeah, Jesus, yeah. I want to talk a bit about Jesus, yeah. Now, he's someone who I've been very open about, you know, my opinions on his performance levels over the last year. Like at times he's been a ghost. At times I feel like he's tried to do a bit too much of the Jogger Benito when he could just be scoring. You know, taking too many touches on the ball. Like always trying too hard, doing too much. And you know what? A lot of that is probably due to like how low his confidence was and his kind of like overthinking of the fact that I need a goal, I need a goal, I need a goal. I need something to happen. I need to make something happen because he's probably very conscious of the fact that he hadn't scored in a while. He hadn't really impacted any game in a while. Now look, he came back in the Carabao Cup against Crystal Palace. He scored 3 goals, got a hat trick. Well played. First half he wasn't that great, but neither was anyone. So I can't really pin that on him. Second half he flourished. But he provides us with something that not too many players do. A bit of that chaos. You know, he's very technically gifted. He's very good ball carrier. Very good at combining with other players on the pitch. He does bring other players in through his, you know, intricate passing, quick touches. Do you know what I mean? And today he got 2 more goals. And I'm sitting there thinking, you know what? Maybe he's just decided that, you know what, I'm going to be the player that a lot of people thought that I was. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't really put my finger on it. What could have made him improve in the way that he has? Maybe the fact that he's got another baby on the way. Maybe he's just naturally in a better mood. Maybe he's just really happy. Or I don't know. Maybe like he's slowly getting back into fitness and getting closer to like the fitness that he was at when he first joined Arsenal. Maybe that's having an implication. Maybe he's warmed up now. Maybe all of that, you know, the first part of the season when he was playing here and there, getting little minutes here and there, here and there. Maybe his engine's finally warmed up. Who knows? Like, I'm not gonna overgas it. I'm still gonna, you know, kind of keep my powder dry on Jesus because I want to see what he does in the next game and then the game after that and then the game after that. I'll give him like a 10 game period, all competitions to kind of analyze on whether I think, you know what, maybe he's back. But I'm not gonna complain about a player coming back into form for Arsenal in this is a crucial period. And I mean, with Saka looking like, you know, it could be a hammy. You know, he did pull up. He was holding his hammy. He's probably going to be out for a few weeks, maybe a month. This is the perfect time for a player to come into form. So I'm not going to complain. You know, you probably should have had a hat trick. Probably could have even had 4 goals. You know, but you was a threat. You was involved. You know, you wasn't a ghost. Like I could see your presence on the pitch. Like you was pressing really well. This is something he presses really well. So when Jesus is playing, like it's not just Erdegaard that's like triggering and running around like a headless chicken. You know what I mean? Jesus is doing it. And then when Havertz is there as well, Havertz is actually a good presser as well. So we got 3 offensive players that press the hell out of players. Press the hell out of them. You know what I mean? Which allows us, you know, to get the ball back quicker. You know, it forces the opponents into making mistakes. It's the way we want to play, you know. And then obviously, look, like Martinelli, you know, on the left, I don't think he was doing too great. But when he moved over to the right, you know, I thought he had a good game. You know, we all know my thoughts on Martinelli, but he had a good game. He even topped it off with a goal, you know. On the right, you know, he doesn't have to kind of do that kind of robotic thing where he's always cutting onto his stronger foot and whipping the ball in the box or trying to take a shot. He can just run to the byline. He can just be a winger. On the right, he can actually just be a winger because he's on his stronger foot. He can run to the byline. He can whip balls into the box. So maybe him playing on the right, it may be a bit more favourable to him. It may suit him as he is right now a bit more. So yeah, well played, Martinelli. Obviously give credit where credit's due. He did good. First half, you know what I mean? Him and Trossard, it was looking a bit like Dumb and Dumber. But then second half, Martinelli improved. To be fair, Trossard improved a bit as well. So I'm not gonna hang them out to dry like that. And I guess the final player that I kind of want to touch upon is Declan Rice. So look, Declan Rice came on, and immediately as he came on, the transitions kind of stopped. He was just sweeping things up. Like, he was just doing all the things that we know Declan Rice to do. He was doing all the things while we paid 100 million for him. Solid, came in and completely changed things up. Like, we looked so much more tighter, so much more secure from a defensive perspective. And I think it's because, he played a lot as a six in a team that is, I would say, used to playing on the back foot. So he's always been forced into kind of reading certain situations. He's always been exposed to more kind of attacking scenarios than, a lot of players. So when he comes on, he just shapes up the shot. You know what I mean? Everything's prim and proper. He says, "Nah, man, you man ain't getting through, man. You get it? He's intercepting. He's breaking things down, breaking plays down, breaking attacks down." And then on the flip side, he did a lot offensively today. What a goal! I'm just gonna say it. What a goal! Like, a lot of people slew Declan Rice for him going forward and what he can do in the final third, bro. One touch, swiveled round, first time, clotted it, bottom right corner. What a finish! He even got the assist for the Martinelli goal. So he came on, made immediate impact. And this is what I want to see. And this is when, we can start having the conversation about Arsenal's depth. This is when we can start having this conversation. Do you know what I mean? Because, you're starting the game with Partey. You're in the six. You're ending the game with Rice in the six. Depth. Do you know what I mean? You get it? You know what I mean? You're starting the game with Miles Lewis-Skelly at left back. You're finishing the game with Calafiori at left back. Depth. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. I mean, don't get me wrong. With Saka being out, it's looking a bit techy up front. But maybe, Arteta moves it about a bit, and maybe you see Wanyeri pop up in different places positionally for us. In the formation that we play in forward games. Who knows? But at the end of the day, we did what we needed to do. It's good to see that, we're working on those goals scored, creating a bit more on that goal difference. I do think that with the way that Chelsea are high flying when it comes to scoring, and even Liverpool, they're scoring a lot, not really conceding too many. I do think goal difference could be an important factor in this title race this season. And yeah, we just got the job done. Like, we move. Move on to the next game. We look forward. We focus on Ipswich now. And that's all it really is. Wait, do we have a midweek game? I don't think we do. Actually, no, we played Ipswich in a few days, innit? We played them Christmas Eve. Anyway, we got Ipswich in a few days, innit? So yeah, we just, take this momentum forward. Like, I'm a big believer that, what we have to do is build up a run of games where we're just winning. We've now gone 2 games winning. Like, a lot of people, me myself included, had a bit of a mini meltdown when we drew to Fulham and drew to Everton. But now we've won a game, so we've broken that. We didn't lose or draw this, so I guess the semi-bad run is ended. And now, 3 wins in 5 looks a bit meaty compared now to 4 wins in 6. It looks a bit more favourable. Perspectives, mind games, you know what I'm saying? So, look, people, those are some of my thoughts on the game, initial thoughts at least. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I think it was a deserved win, but what do you lot think? You know, if you can, like the video. You know, if you can, comment on the video, because obviously algorithms. If you can, subscribe to the village hidden in the north. We need more Shinobi. And yeah, I'll catch you next time. Peace.